Gone are the days when people went to the movies as a cute date idea. Now it's all about Netflix and chill, which means making popcorn at home. COVID accelerated this issue immensely since many theaters had to close. Studios quickly had to adjust to focusing on streaming, like Disney did with Disney Plus and Warner Brothers did with HBO Max, which resulted in same-day releases and streaming-exclusive films that have caused a huge stir in the film community. Movie theaters and studios, when they were eventually allowed to open up again, became focused on putting out more blockbusters and low-budget horror movies to bring people back to seeing things on the big screen. However, this brings a whole different issue as well. Even in 2019, legendary director Martin Scorsese expressed his concerns regarding the death of the communal viewing experience of movies outside of lucrative franchises like Marvel. He brought up how more and more independent movie houses have disappeared and how much of it is a perilous time to be in film expedition since streaming has become the primary delivery system. This would leave many movies out of luck when it comes to being on the big screen. Since COVID, more and more movies have been distributed through streaming, and even have been nominated for highly regarded awards like the Oscars. Just last year, Coda, which was an Apple TV movie, won Oscar for Best Film of the Year. Also, a streaming service like Netflix, unlike a movie theater, is all based around an algorithm designed to appeal to what you already like. Even the photos used in thumbnails for movies and TV shows present differently per user. So, currently you're seeing a shirtless hot man on my feed. That's because Netflix knows what I like according to the algorithm. When you compare this to a movie theater, one not only has to know when the movie releases, but also the showtimes. This can be really hard to access as a normal person, with the lack of marketing and also the death of reading local newspapers. It also doesn't help with smaller films that get small releases and disappear before you're even able to make it to your local art house theater if one is even in your area. The Roxie Theater is one of the longest-running theaters in all of the United States. It was founded in the early 1900s and was originally called the Poppy Theater. Since then, it's grown into an art house staple in the Bay Area. They are also one of very few theaters that still have carbon arc projectors. This means they can show movies on film. They are also really interested in teaching a whole new generation how to be a projectionist, so that this art is not lost in the future.
Roxie, for me, is one of the last vanguards of film projection in the Bay Area, and I have been very, very passionate about making sure film projectionists feel welcome here, on our staff, welcome and supported, because it is such a tricky medium, and it's a medium that we would like to participate more in and give more opportunities and screenings for, but it's very difficult because the cost to project and get the prints and then project them is a lot. It's a lot harder nowadays. So it's a bit more difficult to actually have films to project, which makes it a lot more special for me. And I feel like that's why I'm probably the most passionate about that part of our mission, is preserving and showcasing that kind of filmic heritage that we have the means to do, that other theaters don't or are kind of ignoring.
For movies, success is defined by how many people fill these seats. For us, success is defined a little differently. And that's about what stories we're telling, and often those stories are the stories that don't often get told or shouted out from the rooftop, or films that don't have platforms. There's so many kind of historically underrepresented stories and filmmakers, but those filmmakers are making films, and there's a plethora of films that are authentic and powerful and outside kind of the mainstream. And so those are the films that that may not bring a big audience, that might not fill the big Roxie, but we're not judging the success of those films based on how many people are in the seats. We're judging it based on the importance of this film having a venue to be able to show this story.
After a showing of a 35mm film, Memoria, I was able to catch up with a 20-year-long member of the Roxie Theater.
To me, there's just no comparison with being in an audience and having that vibe and the screen, the sound, the community, the feeling of the community. It's absolutely magical to me.
Anyways, this has been Shayna Friedman reporting for the Peninsula Press.